rated, uncertified. I think you're $300 or $300. Right. I couldn't even find another one. I mean, you know, and they only did 10,000 of these sets.
No
I mean, you know, there might be sold out. I don't know. I have one. That's my collection.
Okay.
But not, like I said, not even for sale. So then they decide the next one that they did was with the Royal Canadian Mint. And that's what we've got right here. The pride of two nations. And for this, they did an American silver eagle. Okay. So the Australians got the $50 that they already made 450,000 of. And now in this set of only 10,000, it's a rare coin and then an incredible Australian Mint silver, $5 silver coin. So then we did this with Canada, and we both did our silver coins. So we did the silver eagle and they did the maple leaf. Now check out this maple leaf. So look at this. If you notice, see what these are? Yeah. These are all little maple leaves.
Oh, they are?
Now watch this as I turn the coin. Okay. Look above the leaf. What do you see?
Okay.
Canada comes into view.
Oh, you're right. Oh, that's so neat.
Isn't that cool? Only as you do that, the maple leaves in essence disappear. Man. And then you can see Canada in the maple leaves that you're going to have. And if you turn it just so, it disappears. You can kind of see that.
Oh, man.
And so you've got the special radial lines that you're going to have right in there. There's Queen Elizabeth on the back, once again, with all of the maple leaves on it. And that is in a unique finish. They have never done this, called modified proof, and they've never done a modified proof Canadian maple leaf in the history of the Royal Canadian Mint. The very first time it's only available in this set. Oh, that coin by itself should be $299 or even $399, given the that is 100% unique to this set. Okay. But here's this is the rock star right here. Now, first of all, I got to tell you what the United States Mint did wrong. They only made the United States Mint only sold 100,000 of these pairs. And you'd think, okay, well, you'd have a regular American silver eagle and a regular Canadian maple leaf, 100,000 is plenty. But it's not a regular of either one of those. You have an absolutely unique Canadian maple leaf here, modified proof that's never been done before. But the real story is this coin.
Okay, how come?
The United States government is making the American silver eagle since 1986. They've made 500 million of them. Never in their history have they done an enhanced reverse proof American silver eagle. This is a unique finish. This is a unique finish American silver eagle that has never been done before and is only available in this set.
Oh, really?
Not available anyplace else, not available in another set or anything else, only in the Pride of Two Nations set do you have this, and no American silver eagle that I have ever seen or ever sold or ever had any opportunity to do looks anything like this. It looks, I mean, on this side, it kind of looks like an enhanced uncirculated coin they did, because you can see the way that Adolph E. Wyman, when he designed this first in 1916 and put it on the Walking Liberty $50, envisioned this, which is Lady Liberty striding brilliantly into a rising sun wrapped in the American flag, as you can see right there. But then they did it in the reverse proof, where this part of the coin, instead of being the shiny part, is the matte finish part, and this part of the coin is in all the other reverse proofs, it was just the whole thing was shiny. But now they did the enhanced, so it's kind of shiny in several different levels, so that you see this, and it was all laser finished, and it's never been done before in the history of the United States Mint. It is available in this set and in this set only. It is a huge deal. It is completely, of course, once everybody figure this out, and then the United States government releases this July 3rd, doesn't really inform anybody what's going on, but I mean, you know, people figured it out real fast and it sold out instantly. It's already bringing pretty significant premiums in the marketplace today. Our first day of issue that you have right here, of course, is a match numbered set that is 100% exclusive to us here at HSN. You can't get anywhere else, so it's guaranteed the lowest price, new and exclusive. There are 776. There are 776 of these in the first day of issue match numbered sets. Now you have to understand, they only did 100,000, sold 100,000 sets. So that makes this, in essence, from the United States Mint, the rarest special finish, tied for the rarest special finish silver eagle ever done by the United States government.
Oh, wow.
The only coin that's similar to this is the 2011 reverse proof coin made by the United States government, which in this condition is a $1,000 coin all day long.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Okay, that's a $1,000 coin all day long. And that was done, and there are 4 reverse proof coins that have been done by the United States government. There's 1 enhanced reverse proof coin ever done by the United States government. You're looking at it. 1 coin and 1 coin only. The United States government went on a little run back in the early 2010s, making what they call special finish American silver eagles. They made one in 2011, they made one in 2012, and they made one in 2013, all reverse proof coins.
Gotcha.
They made the first one in 2006, and then they did reverse proof coins in 2006, 2011, 12, and 13, and then they just stopped.
Okay.
They've not made any special finish American silver eagle since 2013. So we're starting to go on 10 years before they made a special finish, and they decided to do it here in this set at this time without basically telling anybody about it. Fortunately, I was able to get enough. I would love for this edition normally, if I had the opportunity to know about this ahead of time and they hadn't kind of sprung this on it, we would have went into full attack mode in terms of trying to get coins, and I would have had 3,000 of these because I think this is one of the most significant silver eagles ever made by the United States government. And we have it, as you can see, in our enhanced RP, never done before, 70. Both these coins are 70, so you not only get the set, but you get it in absolutely positively perfect condition. We would have done 2,700 sets, 3,700 sets, whatever I could have got my hands on. I end up with 776.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. I debuted it at 1 a.m. this morning. I suspect we are pretty close to 200 sold. Is ultimately where we are on this. So that means that we are about 20 or 25%. Now that is the quantity that I have forever. In first day of issue, okay? In first day of issue. That's it. Not a single solitary additional coin. And I think that's important for you to understand. So when I do this, and see where it says United States Mint release, that's also important, because our brethren at the Canadian Mint sold a few of these sets as well.
Oh, sure.
And I actually have a little Canadian Mint. They come in these little things right here.
Oh, that's cute.
They only did 10,000
they did?
of the Canadian Mint side. This is the Canadian Mint one. The United States Mint is a little bit bigger. See, this one has all the Canadian Mint stuff on it. I have it from the Canadian Mint as well. Now, the certificate of the of authenticity of the United States, the American flag's here and the Canadian flag's here. Right. And it's a little bit bigger box, but this is where you have it, that you're going to have with the Canadian Mint, that you're going to have. I have a few of the Canadian Mints. If you can, I'm going to show you, have a brief presentation on that here in just a little bit on the Canadian Mint, but that's the only one that I have that's live in that. I have all these other coins that I have at the grading, for us to be able to get grading, to be able to get that first day of issue designation that is 100% exclusive to us here at HSN. I think critical important for you to understand what your opportunity is.
So a good portion of these are already spoken for. That's number one. And then number two, now this is unique because I've known Mike for over 20 years, and I don't know that I've ever seen an opportunity where there's 12-month VIP financing, but there is. So that means if you have an HSN card, and remember we've got an apply and buy promotion that is running as a special as part of our birthday, 12-month VIP financing, which means it's a 12-month flex pay, in which case you're looking at only $41.66 on a per monthly payment. So, and that is just based on the very limited quantities that we have. Now remember, Mike debuted this coin in that 1 a.m. hour. A good portion of that quantity was spoken for then. The United States Mint frowns on him making coins, so it's not like other categories where we can say it's a back order, it's a wait list, or an extended delivery. So what we have is what we have, and boy, Mike, I got to tell you, it's the first and only of its kind in a lot of different respects. So I don't know, winner, chicken dinner. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, you have two absolutely unique coins and an absolutely unique collaboration, okay, as a one-time only deal, which is kind of concurrently released from both mints. Right. Okay, like the Australian Mint thing was only sold by the Australian Mint. The United States Mint did not sell that. This was concurrently released and concurrently sold out from two different mints as well. So the Canadian Mint sold out of theirs, and then the U.S. Mint sold out of theirs, absolutely just like that. Now, one of the things that was interesting, so I debuted this morning, and when I got off the air, we'd sold, let's say 50. Right. I think is what it was, something like that. By the time I came in to get ready for this show, which was hours and hours ago, it had doubled.
Oh, no kidding.
Okay, it had gone from 50 to 100 just towards the, so we've already got 210, and look at them, they're really starting to go. Because what happens is a lot of people didn't even know that this coin existed.
No.
And that's the issue. That's the thing that's important with this, is the vast majority of people had no idea this coin was even in existence. Because the United States government did, in all honesty, a really crappy job of marketing this and promoting this. They have one of the most significant and rarest silver eagles ever done by the United States Mint, and the press releases I could count on one hand, and like 3 of them were after they were released and already sold out. Wow. So you have a coin that is unique in terms of its finish. So the United States government has done, they've done enhanced reverse proof, they've done burnish, they've done all, a dozen, 2 dozen burnish coins, they've done 35 proof coins, they've done 35 mint state coins, they've done 4 reverse proof coins. Okay. They have never done an enhanced reverse proof. This is the only, and let's put it this way, so the United States government, since its inception, has made probably several trillion silver coins. Oh, sure. There is one silver American coin in enhanced reverse proof, and you're looking at it.
That's pretty cool.
This is it. And not only is it a coin, it's the American Silver Eagle, which is that's the bell cow, if you will. If you're a Southern guy, you understand that. That's the bell cow of the American Mint's thing. This is what people collect. That's what everybody wants. And if you look at this, it's got a unique design. Anybody that I've shown this to, and there's only been, it's only been out like a day, 24 hours. Like I said, we had to have somebody fly this in. They've never done like the sun, that's basically this mirror finish. They're so difficult to get in 70 condition because these are all this incredible mirror finish. I think if we get in there and I tilt this coin just right, I can probably show you the back of that set over there. That's about that. There's a bed right there, as you can see, that's about 35 feet away. That you can see in the mirror of that it is a coin that from a technological standpoint, it couldn't have even been made until this year. Right. This is cutting edge technology that even creates this coin. Look at that. And let me spin that all the way across so you can see just the phenomenal opportunity that you're going to have. And now let's take a look at the reverse of this coin. Yeah. I've never seen, look at the shield that you're going to have right there that is in that eagle. There's that West Point mint mark. They've even made that shiny, the West Point mint mark. The way they've highlighted United States of America in that mirror finish. This enhanced reverse proof that has never been done before. You've never seen the feathers of the eagle and the ribbons that are through that the eagle's holding in its beak, that you've ever been able to see this before. It is the most technologically advanced coin ever made by the United States Mint, and you can get this coin. If it stood by itself at $499.95, it's a coin you would have to add to your collection. But let's keep in mind that a Canadian maple leaf of the same exact rarity, made specifically and exclusively for this set in a modified proof, which the Royal Canadian Mint has never done before, so that you can see, so that maple leaf looks like it's about to come off the coin.
It does. It's like almost holographic.
It has these special radial lines in here to deter counterfeiting. Crazy. It has all the little, as you can see right there, Canadian maple leaves. And if you turn it just right, there it says 1 ounce. Of course, that's silver in French, argent. So you see right there. Beautiful. You're going to have right there 99995. There's Canada. If you look at it just thusly, there you can see Canada. Wow. It fits right back in and disappears into the maple leaves at that angle right there. The reverse of the coin, once again, of course, has Queen Elizabeth. It is 100% unique. It is 100% exclusive to this set. So you've got two. You got 2 of the major silver manufacturers in the world. The most popularly collected silver coin in the world is the American Silver Eagle.
Right.
The Canadian maple leaf, if it's not 2, it's 3.
Oh, okay.
And you've got unique examples of both of those that are exclusive to this set and to this set only. It is the only possible place to get these coins. Now, not only are we going to give you these coins, already sold out limited editions from the United States government, already selling for 100% premiums in some places to their original issue price as people, try to get these. We have first day of issue, which of course limits us even further. We've got match number numbered sets. We've got it 100% exclusive. Notice we have the flag label here and the Canadian flag label there. Of course, we're going to give you the red oak presentation box that comes with this as well. So this is the way it comes to you. It's new, it's exclusive, and it is one of those sets that you absolutely, positively, 100% must put in your collection. And once we sell through the 776, that's it. It's done. It's gone. It's over. You must get in on this. If you are a collector, look, I remember when I did the 2011 set.
Okay.
He did 100,000 of that set as well. I think we originally sold that set for $499. Now, it had 5 coins in it. And silver was, in 2011, silver was a lot less money.
I was going to say it was less money.
It's about half or a third even of what it is today. And four of the coins in there, only one of the coins was unique to the set, the reverse proof.
Right.
Every other coin you can get other places, just regular silver eagles. We sold them for like $499. Within 3 months or 2 months, we were $2,000 on that set.
Oh, no kidding.
They had exploded in the marketplace.
Wow.
Understand, we have far more collectors today, I think, than we did in 2011.
You bet.
I anticipate it is only because I got in early, and in all honesty, because other people, in essence, overlooked this. The fact that there were just not enough people paying attention, because it was sold July 3rd.
Oh, jeez.
Okay? It was sold July 3rd. And it just started shipping, because then they sold it, and then, you know, they're shut down until yesterday.
Well, sure.
So we had to get the coin, we had to have it certified. We had people flying all over the country to get a coin, have it certified, and get you an example so that we could do this right here, so that you get to see the only enhanced reverse proof coin in the history of the United States Mint is sitting right here on this in front of me. The only modified proof Canadian Eagle, Canadian Maple Leaf, sorry, that has ever been made is on this stand in front of me and is only available in this set. It is the only way to get it. And we have it at my original issue price of $499. We were unsure going into this and into the sale of this coin in July 3rd. We had contingency plans that went as high as $799 on this, because we didn't know how fast this would sell out. We didn't know, and there was a limit. You could only get 5 per household when it was sold out. So we had to put together literally, you know, 500 people that bought the coin and then would sell it to us, of course, obviously at a profit. But we didn't know how fast it would sell out. We thought we might have to pay double or triple or even quadruple the original issue price. So we might have had to have gone out at $5.99 or $6.99 or $7.99, $8.99, even $9.99. I mean, coins like this of this rarity in the past. The fact that in terms of United States Mint sales, this is the rarest special issue silver eagle ever made by the United States government, and it's 100% unique. The one that ties it in terms of U.S. Mint sales is the 2011 reverse proof, but there's 4 reverse proof coins.
All right. So
the total universe of reverse proof coins is almost 1 million coins. There's 250,000, 250,000, 250,000, and 100,000. So you have 850,000 coins. In enhanced reverse proof, this is the universe. This is the universe right here. That's it.
That's it.
You're looking at it. It is the only. So it is unique by finish. It is unique by set. It is unique by provenance. It is unique by the fact that it's the first time that the United States government has made a collaborative effort this year with other mints, and the only time they've done it with an American Silver Eagle. Like I said, I have the Royal Australian Mint, which was their first one that they're going to do, but of course they just put a half dollar in that, and then this was the Australian Mint version of that as well. Like I said, I don't have these for sale. This is out of my private collection. Not available for sale. I looked around. I couldn't even find any for sale. I bought mine originally directly from the Royal Australian Mint. So I think these are going. We're extraordinarily busy. I suspect we're close to there we go. Close to 300 sold.
Do the math, folks.
Is ultimately what it comes down to. So what we're looking at, and I don't even count the probably 200 people or so we have on the phone. The people who have recorded this, because you got the big home run contest going on right now.
That's
I don't know if that's done or not, and if it's not, I have no idea what's going on. Go Josh Bell with that. And so that's going to go on. We're about half sold out without all of that other stuff figured into there. But then last night I did this with Helen. This is where I debuted it. She had to explain to me, so I've only been here like 20 years. I didn't eat, because I do coins. I had no idea what VIP financing was.
I was wondering, do you know what? I've never had a
No, we may have had it,
right,
but it's not anything I remember, because we don't even do flex pay on coins.
I know. But you know what? It was funny because that's one of the things I said earlier is I've known Mike for over 20 years. I certainly have never had a coin that has had 12-month VIP financing.
Right.
I mean, and I watch Mike's shows even when I'm not working with him. I've never seen it in other shows. So go figure. I mean, special, unique, really 2 one-of-a-kinds, and 12-month VIP financing, which, once more, that means we have apply and buy. So there's a special birthday promotion on our VIP, our HSN credit card. But if you use your HSN card, and you can apply and buy as well, call that toll-free number, log on for details, that means we, when you use that card, will create 12 flex pays. So that's what that means. That means 12 flex pays of $41 and change to get this at home.
Now I want to bring something up here,
Okay.
and I don't want to be an alarmist, although sometimes I am. I don't mean to.
But only in a good way.
But only in a good way.
Only in a good way.
Like I said this morning, so this morning I sold 50, and by the time I got in here tonight, we'd sold like 100.
Right.
So it doubled.
Yes.
Well, look at what we've sold now. Okay, so now we're 300 sold.
Do the math.
Okay, so we're, by the time, with everybody on the phone. So what I'm worried about is by the end of tonight, if that number doubles, we will sell out today.
Yes.
And like I said, I consider this about at first people go, well, there's no way you'll sell all 700. I go, it's a pretty significant coin. As a matter of fact, I consider it one of the most significant coins put out because it's American Silver Eagle.
Yes.
It's a collaboration. It's certified perfect. It's unique to the set. It's a unique finish. And the United States government just doesn't do unique finish American Silver Eagles. Like I said, they've made 500 million American Silver Eagles. There's basically 100, and with the Canadian version of this, 110,000 of enhanced reverse proof out of 500 million. So it's 100th or 1,000th of 1%, and it is only available in this set. And then this set in ANACS, first day of issue, individually matched numbered, is 100% exclusive to us here at HSN. So I can absolutely positively guarantee $499.95 is the lowest price you can do. Both coins unique as well.
Well, 2 one-of-a-kinds, 12-month VIP financing, making it $41 and change if you use your HSN card. And remember, you can do the math when you see over 300 of those gone in that first day of issue.
They're going fast now, and people are going, okay, now I get it.
Right.
I'm ready. I'm coming.
Exactly.
I'm coming.
For 2 one-of-a-kinds, for sure, 679-729. So yours is here for the asking, as long as you're selecting it now. Oh, do we have the Royal Canadian?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we're...
okay.
Oh, I thought we did. I thought it was supposed to be...